the amount of consumption that's happening on the internet right now, it's never ending.
Hey guys, welcome to Be Original with Eisley Creative,
where we discuss all things marketing. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of Be Original Podcast. My name is OJ, and
I'm Christian.
We're here to hang out with you guys for an entire season. Welcome back.
Yes,
we were kind of
it's been a
gone
while.
for a little longer than we would have liked, but things got a little crazy at the end of the year for us. And
the beginning of the year.
And the beginning of the year. So things just got pushed back, unfortunately, and you guys are the oand that suffer for that. So I'm so sorry.
Or not.
Or not. They're probably just like, ah. Thank you for joining us. And I'm not going to speak for Christian, I am really excited about this season. It is going to be killer. We have tons of killer guests, tons of killer content. Things are happening to the podcast. People are watching, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah, it's probably the most practical that we've done so far of like how you can put things into practice, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be able to walk through purposes and uses and doing things on your own and working with no budget to small budget to doing, whatever you need to do to get content out there. And that is the premise for the whole season.
Yes. Hyper focused on content creation, which is really, obviously it's a really easy topic for us because we do it every day for our clients, but not always that easy for other people to understand. So that's why we're doing it. So today, the topic we're going to touch on is consistency of content. I wanted to start off the season talking about I think it's more of the reality of what content looks like for a company or for your small business or for your whatever, and realistically, like what you should be doing. I'm going to preface that with this, that like it's still really hard. Like we're in the content creation business, and it took us, however many weeks for us to get launched on our third season. So we get it. Like, don't think that we're telling you this because we've got it figured out, because we don't have it figured out. We're working through it even as we are talking through this episode. Going back, right? Consistency of content. The amount of consumption that's happening on the internet right now, and all of the different contents and all of the different types of content that you can create, it's never ending. Like you could be doing content every day, and and a different piece every day, and it still wouldn't be enough for the amount of consumption that's happening.
We're talking about creating content for every stage of the buyer's journey, and we talked about the uses, the expectations, we talked about just the types of things that are most effective, the kind of messaging that you want. And this season we're talking about the frequency and just going and making things happen. And we focused a lot on video last season. Obviously, that's part of what we do, so we mention it a lot. But one of the things that we want to stress is that content is not just video. It's playing on your strengths. So blogging, you've got video, you've got photos, you've got stories, you've got
Graphic design,
graphics, you've got
podcasts,
mailers. Content in general is literally any piece of collateral, any sort of creation that you're sending out to let people know about your business or your product or anything that we talked about creating throughout the buyer's journey. So it's really like anything that leaves the doors of your business is considered content. Just starting by talking through how frequently you should be putting things out there, and especially for now, how much stuff is out there, like you said.
I think the big takeaway from this is going to be that you got to figure out what your strong suit is in your organization, whatever that is. If you have a writer on staff, or if you have, maybe that's somebody that's really well spoken, or whatever it is. You want to tap into that resource first and foremost and try and figure out what is the best fit for your organization, what makes the most sense for the content that you're pushing out. And then the next part is being consistent about it.
Yeah.
And, we talk a lot about this with our clients and even people that aren't our clients. We tell people all the time that something is better than nothing. So making sure that you have your phone ready and doing the selfie videos that everybody loves to do, like that's a piece of it.
Yeah.
And, you have to be consistent about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not consistent about it, you lose. Like, the reality of it is people lose. It's not that they lose interest, but they just don't. They lose. You're not in their line of sight.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
There's so many other things that they see that it pushes your brand further and further to the back of their minds.
Exactly. So when it comes time for creating video content for your business, Eisley Creative is no longer the first thing because they see stuff being posted all the time from you. It's the last thing on their mind because they haven't even heard or seen us in a long time.
Yeah.
That's the scary part of the content part of it, right?
Yep.
We deal with that all the time.
Yeah.
And trying to create something, rather than nothing, it's really hard. It's not easy.
Yep.
But
yeah, I think the key is, like you said, finding people, and it's not necessarily if you have a writer on staff. I would bet you that if you have a semi-large company that's like, more than 25 employees, probably even within that 25, you may have had somebody that went to school for a certain degree that you might not know about or started because they were talented in some area and switched paths.
Yeah.
And so it's even just encouraging you to find those people that may do graphic design as a hobby or may write as a hobby or, do their own podcasts or do their own video stuff and like find those people and utilize them in the time just starting, and kind of get your feet wet in those things. And then if you're an entrepreneur and you do things on your own, figure out what it is that you're good at. Maybe you're not good on camera, so maybe it is writing, or maybe you're not great at writing, but you're good at speaking, so then you want to be on camera. Like those types of things. It's just figuring out what you're good at, because those things, when you find what you're good at, it's not as much work. Like it's easy for you to jump onto Instagram and just go and talk to everybody. It's harder for me. I have to think through it. It doesn't
Sure.
come naturally to just hit go and make it happen, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
for me, it's, there's a lot of different aspects. It comes more naturally for me to just take a picture or to write things and post those things. It's just finding those people or finding those strengths that you have that don't feel necessarily like work to do. It is an extra thing. It's an extra thing to add to your time and to your schedule. But again, if it's something that you're naturally good at, it doesn't feel like this heavy burden that just falls on you. Because if you're forcing yourselves to do things that are kind of a burden, then it's probably not valuable or effective to the people that are seeing it. Because you can tell it's forced. It doesn't come naturally. But if you're doing something that isn't forced and that comes naturally, then it's kind of like you're just naturally gifted that way, and people recognize those things more than you realize. So if you're really good at writing and you write Facebook posts all the time, chances are people probably read them because you're a good writer, But then you have other people that write really long Facebook things and nobody reads them because they're not good writers.
Sure.
Or they're not that involved in their lives to care, right? I mean, that's a huge, I think, kind of the foundation of it all is find the things that don't feel like work. Find the things that you're good at and that you naturally do, and apply them to putting things out there. And that could be email marketing, sending out emails. That could be writing up flyers or designing flyers. It could be any of those things. Anything that you could think of that would be like kind of a natural expression of who you are, why you do what you do, and things like that. And obviously, there's branding and all of that down the line if you haven't done that yet. And it can get more and more busy and complicated. But again, starting at ground zero, take what you're good at and make something of it rather than have nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, let's just call it what it is. If you can't figure out what, you know, other people in your organization or you yourself are passionate about in the content world, then, you know, it's going to take some hard work. It's going to be difficult to just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think no matter what, creating the discipline of doing it is difficult.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
like it could be even as simple as somebody that's just a logical thinker that likes statistics. Writing and sharing statistics is valuable content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you're an accountant and you think in numbers and people that need an accountant are seeing you post like these tax percentages change for these people in these brackets, and I can help you, you know, make sure that you're getting everything back that you need going into tax season. You know what I mean? Like because of this, that, and that. Like people will recognize that and be like, oh, he knows what he's talking about, or she knows what she's talking about, and go to you. Like it had nothing to do with creative writing, picture taking, video, and that's simple. Like that's what I'm getting down to is everybody's good at something, and it's just taking that and applying it to platforms that people are on.
Yeah, and don't devalue what you have to offer either, because the reality of it is, and this is a conversation like that we have all the time with people. Like nobody wants to listen to my podcast. Nobody wants to watch a video.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know about me, which is completely untrue, because like there are a lot of people that want to hear from you and they don't even know it yet.
Yeah.
But everybody has a unique take or a unique background or upbringing or that's brought them to the point that they're at right now, and that adds value. It adds value to your own personal brand and or the corporation that's behind you.
I mean, imagine it this way. It's an accountant who works for himself from home. Same analogy, right? He's doing the numbers and this and that. So suddenly the accountant's like, oh, I've got work. I need to add a secretary or an admin, right? Adds an admin, and that admin happens to be really good on camera or happens to be really good at writing. So then you take your message, your why, whatever, and you're sharing it and collaborating with that admin, and now that admin can give you another medium of content. So now you have a writer or a video person, you know, or someone on camera, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can just do it like that as it grows, and that, I mean, that's how you build that content pool of things to come out. Like, you know, I just think it's really important to start with what you're good at, and as you grow or find people that are good at other things, allow them to do that, you know?
That's good.
So that keeps you pumping out the content.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll touch on it a lot this season, I feel like, but like the purpose behind the content is also a big part of it as well. I mean, it's not always about selling a product or service. It could be something that's completely irrelevant to who your company is, but it's what you're passionate about. And I mean, honestly, that's like the truest form of sales, right? Like you really look at it and it's like, I'm going to attract people that are like-minded to me, and those people are going to buy your product, whatever it is, because they see something in you that's in them.
Yeah.
And they're way more inclined to purchase or, you know, whatever it is, hire you for a service or whatever it is. But
Yeah, you don't have to be good at sales to grow a business.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you don't. I mean, we talked about it already. It's consistency. You have to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And doing it to the best of your ability. And ultimately, as time goes on, you're going to get better at it. Or, you know, financially things are going to change. You're going to be able to bring in an agency or bring in a production company or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's, you know, you're hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
Like, with the amount of content that you can create.
Yeah, I feel like I have more conversations with people that I hear, I really need to get my social stuff together, or I really need to get my website content together, or I really need to make YouTube videos, or I just hear this like, I really need to create content is what I'm hearing in my head. And I'm always just like, go, like, create content. And that's what I'm trying to, you know, relay here is that as we go through the season, we'll hear from a couple content creators. We'll hear from a couple companies, businesses that have been pushing content recently. It's a newer development for them for two completely different purposes, which is nice. We'll hear from storytellers. You know, we've got a good lineup of people coming, and they're all going to give their perspective. We've got a marketing agency represented that'll be here, and all these different things. And I feel like the consistency and the key in all of them is going to be just create stuff, you know, and create things that are you and your strengths and what you're good at.
And I mean, the reality of it is, for those of you that are listening and are thinking to themselves, like, okay, I could do this. Like, but like the reality of it is that you're going to hit hurdles. There's going to be questions. There's going to be things, you know, that you're not going to know. And I mean, that's why you have guys like Christian and I who are more than happy to jump on a call or even come and visit with you to talk you through on what that process looks like and help you get the tools that you need to be successful. That's why we do this podcast.
Yep.
Like, everything about it has nothing to do with us selling work. We do it because we're passionate about this topic that is marketing, content, you know, like all of this stuff. We're really passionate about it, and we want to share it with as many people as we can because we know that it's valuable, and other people have said it was valuable, so it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for season 3 in its entirety. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be good. It's our first season with guests, which I'm excited about.
We're in a different, obviously you can tell, season 2 was different set, different layout. Season 3, Christian built this beautiful set that we're on, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
That's fun.
So I'm really excited about it.
We got some new toys.
Yeah. All right, guys. That is season 3, episode 1 in its completion. We love you so much. Thank you so much for checking us out. Be sure to like, comment, share, all that good stuff on the link or on whatever platform you're on. And be sure to stay tuned for the rest of season 3. I'm really excited. We are really excited about what's to come. So thanks, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Thanks again for checking out Be Original with Eisley Creative.
You're the reason we do this, so be on the lookout for more tips and advice on your marketing strategy.